Welcome back to Build Life. I'm here in Kentucky at Squatch Hollow. This is our first cabin of 2 so far. We're getting ready to get going on a few more. I'm going to do a total of, I think, 5. I call them full service, 4-season heat and air conditioning. One of the problems that we've had when building here is that the cabins are higher than the water tower. This one is lower than the Sunset Ridge, which is our second one, but we opted to do a rainwater system here instead of a well, and the city water I just don't think it'd be very feasible. We did put city water at Sunset Ridge at the top. It's got a 100-gallon tank that fills out of the city water main. It's a 3/4 line and it trickles out like a drinking fountain. So it fills that 100-gallon tank up, and we have a jet pump that takes the water away. Here on Squatch Hollow, it's a bigger cabin. It's got a full bath and a half bath, washer, dryer, sleeps 7 or 8 people. So we have a lot higher demand for water than we did at the other one. As far as water systems are concerned, there's something to collect water and something to pressurize it and deliver it where you need it to go. So if you're on a city water system, that's a massive pump, water tower for gravity, whatever it is. The city owns the equipment that pressurizes the system. When you do a well, you own the pump and the water comes from underground. When you do rainwater, you're simply collecting the water off the roof instead of from underground into a cistern. In this case, I have a submersible pump in the tank, and that's what pressurizes the system. Let's take a quick look at the system. We'll do a little tour of it, and then I'm going to tell you the things that I would do differently and the things I do the same for future systems and what our plans are for the next few cabins. So right here is the lid for our rainwater tank. This is a 1,500-gallon tank buried underneath the ground. So obviously it won't freeze down low like that. Right here it kind of swales down to this lid. There's actually a gauge on it. That's that thing on the top. It seems to always read the same regardless of its level. So I don't know how accurate it is. They make them that you can monitor with Wi-Fi. We don't have one. Right here, these green pipes are 2 pipes that go into that tank, and then we go up to the downspouts here. Let's walk around the back. So you can kind of see, maybe you guys can see, where there's a PVC pipe shooting off the back. And this back corner here actually has downspout running up to the gutter. These gutters have screens on them. Not real high tech, but that water is going to come all the way down here, hit this PVC run, and then it's going to go under the cabin into the cistern. Behind the cabin here, we have a second tank. This is 1,000 gallons, and we call this the auxiliary tank. It is only hooked to the downspout on the screen porch, which actually travels the full depth of the cabin. So there's quite a bit of water going in there. Should this tank run out, you can see at the bottom there's a valve. That's a 2-inch valve and a pipe sitting there. This black hose is the overflow. So you would hook that hose to the outlet on this PVC right here, and then open the valve, and that will drain it all the way under the cabin into the main tank. You can see the lid over there for the tank, and it is buried underground here, and there is a line going through the ground out here to the creek. Let's see if we can find the end of it. Well, it's kind of over here in the weeds, but there is a line shooting out of there from the top of the tank. So when the tank is full, all the overflow water can make it out to the creek. In that 2,500-gallon tank out front, it's got I think it's Grundfos submersible jet pump in the tank. That is going to pressurize the system into this closet. There's a pre-filter, 3 little canister filters. This is a bladder, so that the pump doesn't run 100% of the time while you're asking for water, I guess. This black box up here, along with this silver or chrome Vicwa cylinder, exposes the water to UV so that you don't have bacteria issues. And then of course we have a water heater here. So all in all, I've been super happy with the rainwater system. And going forward for our next 3 cabins, I think I'll do rainwater collection there too. Here in southeastern Kentucky, we're about 45 minutes to an hour southeast of Lexington. It rains a lot, so it's not been a problem. We've not had any issues running out of water. In fact, we only had to use the reserve tank one time, and the reason for it, on the downspouts, we had these Mondulin downspout filters that I bought from Rain Brothers as well. And they kind of worked like that. As the water came down the downspout, it would go into this box. And the box had a flexible, like a corrugated, almost like a dryer vent, but it was porous, like a sock. So when the water came into it, it would kind of sag down and the water could filter through and go down into the tank, but it would catch leaves and debris and wash them out the side. What wound up happening was they just got clogged up. They just got clogged up quickly. We're in the woods here. I'm not here all the time. And we didn't have any water in the tank. And then we were in the middle of a drought, and there were, I don't know, 8 of us here for like 10 days, and we ran it out of water. So we decided to take them all off the downspouts, and we went and put that auxiliary tank in the back. We haven't had a problem since. We are very close to a creek, so if you were to happen to run out of water in both tanks, you could pump it from the creek. But probably if you're in that position where you've used, you know, God, I guess that's, I keep saying 2,500 gallon tank. That's a 1,500 and a 1,000, so it's 2,500 total. If you run out of that water, there probably is none in the creek, and you've got to scramble. But having that extra 1,000 gallons, we can put it in this tank. That buys us enough time to go find water somewhere, whether we got to haul it in, have it delivered, whatever it is. But so far, it's not been a problem. Instead of burying the tanks all the way underground like this one, a lot of the Norwesco tanks, you can bury them halfway. So I think we'll do that and leave the lid out, because what happened here, what you see sticking out of the ground there, is about the top 8 inches of a 24-inch riser that sits on top of the tank. When it rains and it runs down the hill here, because that tank is sunk down, the water is running through the dirt, and actually the riser was leaking. And so we were getting a lot of muddy water in the tank. I dug it all up, we pulled it out, cleaned it up real good, and sealed that riser. Again, knock on wood, I think we're in good shape. But going forward with the other cabins, we're just going to leave the top of the tank out of the ground. That volume of water won't freeze, especially in this climate. It will eliminate a lot of the need for filtration. So I think screens on the gutters will do that 40 micron to get the big chunks. And then I think I'm just going to do a single canister filter on it so the water looks relatively clear when it comes out. It'll be clear when it goes in the tank, clear when it comes out. That'll be just fine. So let me know in the comments if you guys have rainwater systems in your cabins or your house or your tent or whatever it is that you guys have. I'd be interested to see how they work for other people. But it's going surprisingly well. You know, and cisterns are nothing new. People have been doing that for hundreds of years. My cistern just happens to be plastic, poly tank. But it works really well. I think we'll continue to do it because this is an area where city water is not prevalent. Hope you guys got something out of this video. I'm hoping you can offer me something in the comments that we can use, some adjustments, tweaks, improvements on the system. Maybe we'll get this right by the time we put 4 or 5 of them in. Hope you're there with us when we do. Thanks for watching.